Hi, my name is Toby from the PokeTown podcast, and I have a friend as a guest today for the podcast to ask him some Pokemon questions to get an idea of the different ranges within the Pokemon community, if that makes any sense. Now, is it okay if I call you John Doe? Because that technically means anonymous.
You could, but it makes no sense.
Well, I'm trying to think of something to call you besides just a friend, unless you're okay with that.
I'm okay with either thing. It's just, I don't know.
Okay. Well, friend, the first question I have is, what's your favorite evolution, if you have one?
Let's see. If I had a favorite, Vaporeon, because I'm always chilled out, and it's a water type, and then Umbreon, if you get the shiny form, it's like got like Blue Moon, and Flareon.
So some of the more original evolution.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not like, well, I'm not sure if besides Sylveon, if there is a newer evolution besides the original.
Well, Sylveon's recommended as obsolete one because they didn't do fairy types anymore.
I'm saying, like, is that the newest evolution, I think? Technically?
Let's see. I'm trying to figure it out because,
I think it
like,
is, because the other ones were from the original.
maybe? Because, I don't know. I really don't know.
So I don't feel like they add many that often, so it's very possible. The next question I have is, what's your favorite part about Pokemon?
Let's
If you
see.
don't know,
If I had to say, what got me into it was the game Pokemon Go. And that's how all my relatives and uncles and everyone in my family pretty much likes how to play Pokemon. And that's how I got into collecting.
I personally got into collecting when I was around like 8, because one of my siblings bought me a pack for a gift because he heard about them from school. I think it's the fully evolved form of Chikorita I got a holo of in my first pack, and after that I was hooked.
You got a
Yeah,
Bayleaf.
Bayleaf, that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like it.
Yeah. Are you okay with one or two more questions? Because I want to keep it simple.
I mean, it's not going to unfreeze, so we might as well continue.
Okay.
Unless you want to stop it there.
I'm okay as making this comfortable with, but just a heads up, my phone's kind of low.
Oh, you're not using your Chrome?
No, I'm using my phone. I can't use Facebook on my Chromebook.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't just install the app like I did?
Well, I did, but it's glitchy. Too glitchy.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Anyways. There's
Other than
two...
that...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's 2 iconic Pikachus in the Pokemon series. Cap from Horizons and Ash's Pikachu from Professor Oak. Which one do you think you like better, in your opinion?
You gotta go with the OG that's been there for like basically almost 25 years.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. I just thought it was an interesting question because both series, even if they're not the same people,
Because
both have a Pikachu. So I thought it was an interesting question. But yeah, you're probably right about that.
there was a theory that Captain, I don't know whose name is, I just call him Cap, is Ash, but he doesn't even look like Ash, so it has to be debunked.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't know an answer to this one, because it's kind of an interesting question though. Between the original Team Rocket set from 2000 plus what people have seen from the newest Team Rocket set, which set seems more interesting? Not
Well,
necessarily value-wise, but artwork.
I'm not saying value, I'm just saying if you're vintage and you're used to vintage, I would collect the what do you call them? The Team Rocket from 2000. But if you're looking for high-end cards that are like newer and you're like in the 21st century because it was the 2000s back then, I would collect those because those are recently coming out.
True. So
And you get to research them for their history.
true. One more question.
Shoot away.
What is your favorite set, if you have one, or generation, if easier to answer? Sun and
Let's see, my
Moon,
favorite
Sword and
generation.
Shield.
Well, if I say generation, I would go with numbers.
Okay.
I think. Now, I'm just saying, I'm spitballing the starters because I don't remember, because that's how I figured things out.
Okay.
But you gotta go with the OG.
So basically Pikachu, Squirtle, Charmander, and
Well,
Bulbasaur.
Pikachu's not really a starter. He was just a pick.
I guess
A
that's
random thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But that
So,
generation,
if I
though,
had
right?
to say, besides the OG, I would go with probably Tepig, which is generation 3, I think, or 2.
I'm not sure. I think the black and white era.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Okay.
And then if I had to say for third, it would be what was it called again? I know this one. Yeah, it's just Tepig. The
So
OG and Tepig.
Tepeg's generation is your favorite for now.
There's others too, but I can't just spitball every
Yeah, I
single one.
get it. There's been a lot of generations.
There's about 10 if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really like the newer end ones, but I still
Yeah.
do. I'm not dissing every single one.
Right. Well,
I'm just saying I don't really enjoy watching newer like Scar and Violet and all that.
yeah. Well, friend, thank you for joining this podcast episode.
No problem.
And all those watching, thank you for tuning in. Bye.